So not too long ago, Genndy Tartakovsky announced that he was going to be directing a new Popeye movie, and it was going to be full CGI. And naturally, people kind of freaked out. To be fair, it's a little understandable because Popeye is an iconic character. He has a design that doesn't look like it would translate well to the third dimension. And besides, they actually tried to do a CGI Popeye once before, and it didn't go so well. By the way, this DVD I bought, it doesn't work. I don't know if I should consider myself lucky for that. But recently, he released some test footage of the new movie, and it looks great. Like, seriously, I think this put to bed any concerns people might have had. Remember when they announced that Charlie Brown and the Peanuts Gang were going to be given a CGI movie, and everybody freaked out about that? And then they released the teaser for it, and everyone was like, oh my god, it looks so great! Yeah, it was kind of like that. Also, the action looked very reminiscent of another one of Genndy's works, Hotel Transylvania. It had that same comedic timing, the same pacing. The rest of the video is great too because he talks about how this was his destiny to make the Popeye movie because he was trained by one of the Fleischer animators. And he says he's been drawing Popeye forever, and he loves Popeye. So I just thought that was really funny. This is destiny. It was foretold that I will make the Popeye movie. On top of that, they got Tom Kenny to be Popeye and Grey DeLisle as Olive Oyl, and I thought that was just perfect casting. If you want to check out the video, I will leave a link to it in the description. But that's not really what I'm here to talk about. Apparently, a lot of people think that Popeye might not be as manly as he used to be. And I'm here to call that bullcrap. So if you look around, you find comments about the video. Nobody's commenting on how great it looked. Everyone's like nitpicking about how Popeye looked. I believe even the news was reporting on this, but I couldn't find a source for that. So why don't we go through some of the common complaints I've heard about Popeye, and let's see if we can find any validity to these arguments. Spoilers, there's not much. Number one, a lot of people say that Popeye is too small, or he's too short. See, the thing is, Popeye has always been pretty short. In fact, I think he's one of the shorter members of the main Popeye cast. I think he's been shorter than Olive Oyl a couple times. To be fair, if you watch a lot of the different versions of Popeye, you might see some height differentials, but he's just short. That's how he's always been. It's part of his character. He's the little guy that stands up to the big guy. So, yeah. Have you never watched a cartoon of Popeye before? Number two, Popeye does not have his tattoos. So anybody who's seen Popeye knows that he has boat anchor tattoos on his forearms. Those were not present in the short. There's no real explanation as to why not. For all we know that this was just test footage, they didn't put him in or not. Although I've heard that the movie is most likely going to be an origin story, which means that this is going to be Popeye starting out as a sailor, so maybe he just doesn't have the tattoos yet. Number three, Popeye does not have his pipe. Okay, this one I might be willing to give a little leeway towards, because Popeye's pipe is very iconic. I mean, if you watch the old Paramount cartoons, that's how Popeye greets you, with tweeting on his pipe right after you see the logo. But even though it's part of his character and part of his design, seeing Popeye without his pipe is not that unusual. I mean, maybe he just didn't have it in this particular scene. We don't know. Although if Popeye doesn't have his pipe, is it really gonna ruin anything? Is it gonna affect the narrative or the plot? No. I mean, yeah, it sucks that he wouldn't have his, his iconic pipe, but it's not gonna completely destroy the movie for me. I do realize we live in a time where we're trying to weed out smoking once and for all, but maybe there's an alternative. Maybe they'll give him one of those e-cigarettes. He's smoking on an e-pipe. Last and certainly least, Popeye has eyelashes. Really? Really? Eyelashes? Honestly, I didn't even notice this when I first saw the video. I actually had to go back and pause at certain spots just to even see them, and they are tiny, just little specks above his eyes, and people are getting freaked out about that? Really? Like, if they were big, wavy, girly eyelashes, then maybe I could understand, but they were just tiny little things, just barely noticeable. I don't even know how people saw them in the first place. And you know what? Newsflash. Everyone has eyelashes. Men and women. Regardless of how manly they are. Everybody has eyelashes. I have eyelashes. You have eyelashes. It doesn't mean anything. I'm shocked that people were arguing about this. Just these tiny, insignificant little things compared to everything else that happened in the short. Like, guys were getting hit in the head with bats. Nobody batted an eye toward that, did they? Can I just say how happy I am to be seeing cartoon violence once again? And, well, I guess it's okay now. You know, you can show guys getting punched and hit with bats, but God forbid a character have eyelashes. Jeez, the whole fabric of society will fall. You cannot do anything to make Popeye less manly. I mean, he's a sailor, he gets into fights, he eats spinach out of a can, which I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to do, otherwise you'll get sick. Maybe even die, but he does it anyway. You know what, even with all this stuff, even if he doesn't have his pipe or his tattoos, and even if he has tiny, insignificant eyelashes, it's not gonna hurt the movie. It felt like a Popeye cartoon, and I can't wait to see it. I have no doubt it's gonna be fantastic. But let me know what you think. What did you think of the Popeye video? And do you agree with any of these complaints, or do you think people are just being nitpicky crybabies? My name is Rob, I'm wonderful, and I'll see you next time.